now finally know the truth, Silas is better off now. So how can he rage at her for telling it? He thought he was a murderer, and now he's not. So he should be thanking Margaret.
I wouldn't say all of that as well. That's gaslighting talk. That's gaslighting
Wait,
sure.
what?
Am I not
telling the truth?
I used to beat you every day, and now I don't. So you should be grateful. That's gaslighting talk, mate.
So am I not telling the truth?
That's gaslighting talk. That's what I'm saying. It's gaslighting talk. That's not the case. You shouldn't be happy. You shouldn't have had to live with like thinking you're a murderer whatsoever.
Well, would you prefer Margaret to go to prison?
But that's not. Those aren't the only options.
That was the only option.
She could have told him it was her.
She has.
She could have told him at the beginning.
It doesn't matter if it's the beginning, at the end.
Of course it does, because he lived time thinking he was a murderer. That can't feel great. 2 Louisiana dames, a duplicitous scheme, and 1 dead husband. The question is, who killed lawyer Ben Bayliss? Bartender Aubrey Price is just looking for answers about her parents' death 10 years ago. And Camille Bayliss is looking for a way to escape her controlling marriage. Whatever else these ladies are, they're certainly not innocent. Especially not after they conspire to switch places, trading phones, cars, even clothes, in an attempt to free Camille from the clutches of her controlling husband who tracks her every move, and to get Aubrey one step closer to the truth. But things take a dark turn when Ben turns up dead, and there's only one alibi between the 2 women. The question is, which one of them will see their day in court? Will Bayliss see the bailiff, or will Aubrey pay the price? I say they're both guilty. I'll sentence them to take the black! And I'm not talking about Game of Thrones.
I love the intro. I assume you've taken some inspiration from the blurb. I didn't read the blurb at all, as I never do. Did the blurb do the story justice? Did it oversell? Was it okay? Pause this video right now. Go and read Anatomy of the Alibi by
Ashley Elston. And when you've read it, you can join us for the discussion.
Or you can join us anyway, because we're going to tell you all about it. My name's Elijah.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome to the Aisha Library.
You know we've read something by this author before.
Yes, First Lie Wins.
Yeah, exactly. Wait. First, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I recognised the name straight away. As soon as I saw Ashley Elston, I was like, First Lie Wins.
Yeah.
It's weird, because I used to be extremely bad at remembering authors' names off the top of my head. For some reason, you'd think I'd be really good at that.
Yeah.
But I've recently become better at it.
And First Lie Wins was okay. Had some teething issues. No, it had some actual issues. But this book, I don't know why she bothered. This was a waste of my time, a waste of my life, and I want my money back.
I want the time back as well.
Oh my gosh.
I want a head on a platter.
Oh, I think we should just go straight
Okay, let's get right into it. I have a good feeling about this book. I realise I always say that, but God forbid a man be optimistic. We have nothing if not our dreams after all. I like the way this book gets right into it. No foreplay, straight in. Just like me and my girlfriend on a Friday night before I go home to my wife.
Crazy.
Upon returning from her alibi weekend, Camille finds Ben dead in their home, a savage wound in his chest and a missing murder weapon. I bet she wishes she didn't go to all that trouble now. That's got to be annoying. You planned a perfect switcheroo and it was all for nothing. Camille calls the police and she may end up wishing she didn't, because the way things are looking, she's a prime suspect. The one thing that might save her, however, is the fact that there's no murder weapon on her or anywhere in the house. Can't murder someone without a murder weapon, can you?
I wouldn't be feeling confident about
I'd feel a little bit good about that, because
really?
Where's the murder weapon?
Because
police are normally good at finding her.
Well, that's the question we wanted to ask you.
Be like, well, wait, just you're the police.
There's no murder weapon.
You're the police, what the hell?
That's because there's no murder weapon.
So where did I put it?
Mate, you were there.
Where did I put it?
You were there.
She's the one that's got the alibi, I swear.
Your husband.
I swear
Your DNA's all over you stand to gain.
Oh my God. But then remember Hank as well? Hank stood to gain some stuff too.
Hold your breath, go in blind, cook up your theories, prepare to be sucker punched by twists and grins, because the clues were right there. Apparently this book is unputdownable, high octane, and it has a rocket launched itself into somebody's top 10 thrillers of the year. Ashley Elston is allegedly now a thriller queen. All right, sure. Now, let's talk about what actually happens in the opening. On first thoughts, I did like the premise. Multiple people clearly have a motive for Ben's murder, including Camille's own lawyer and friend Hank. Ben and Hank co-owned a law firm, but trouble was brewing. Just days before Ben was killed, he handed Frank a draft to end their partnership, and not a polite one. Ben planned to take all the clients and go solo, leaving Hank with nothing. So yeah, motive established. Then we meet Randall, Ben's father. He's not your stereotypical grieving alpha patriarch. In fact, grief doesn't seem to be on the menu at all. His son's been brutally murdered and he treats it like a scheduling inconvenience. He storms into Hank's office. No hello, no condolences, and he drops this. Do you think it's right that you're handling his clients given he was planning to end your partnership? So the question is, should Hank step aside out of respect for Ben, or is it fair game? Ben's dead and the clients need someone, and Hank's just picking up the pieces. Is it unethical, or is it just business? Meanwhile, in a completely different, very bizarre thread, we've got Aubrey Price, the surviving child of the parents killed in a hit and run, and she's dressing up as Ben's wife, buying designer clothes, playing the role, and we have no idea why. We know Camille has orchestrated all of this, but the reason is still a mystery. So for you, did the beginning pull you in, or were you just waiting for the book to wake up?
A little bit of both, to be honest. Before I say that, I want to say that is actually a great question about whether Hank should take the clients or not. I think that.
I thought that was a stupid question.
No, I don't think it is. But,
I was thinking, why did I ask that?
I think it's a good question because technically, I think he has a legal obligation to help them as much as he can.
Obligation aside, it didn't seem like he was doing that for legal reasons. He thought, well, nothing I can do. Because do you think he should settle the legal obligations and then close the business now? Because Ben, his last dying wishes were to.
Well, as their lawyer, he has an obligation to always give them the best advice and get them the best representation possible. And if he believes he is the best representation possible, then he has a legal obligation to keep them as his client.
I was struggling to see where you were going, and then
we wrapped it up at the end.
Yeah, then we went back.
We just wrapped it up and pulled it back.
Yeah.
Long story short, I would not be giving up my clients.
Ben's ain't going to pay for itself.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think Camille did it. That is, I'm really hoping she didn't do it. This is for a few reasons. Reason number one is that this would require a good old dash of the old unreliable narration gimmick, which I think should be shelved indefinitely. I see it as the mystery writer's cheap trick. I was never going to figure this out. People don't gamble to win. They gamble because they like the feeling that they could win. If they feel like the deck is stacked against them, they just won't want to play. And for me, it's a bit like that. Reason number two is because the story has already begun to develop Camille a bit, flesh her out a bit, and now we've discovered that there are certain marital assets that she can only access with proof of Ben's cheating. And so she enlists Aubrey a second time. This is a brilliant twist, and bored of female victims make her grey. Love it. But this setup is too early to have Camille be the final big bad. So I felt like we thought she was like innocent victim at first, and then they kind of started seeing us. She may have ulterior motives. I thought that was way too early for it to turn out that she actually murdered him. I think you would kind of reveal that more close to the end, make it more of a kind of smash and grab sort of thing.
I do like the aspect that Camille wasn't this. She was morally grey. Well, she was bad.
She
was bad. I did like that aspect of it. And that's what ties into my next point. Okay, so the book does a good job of keeping us in the dark. I'll give it that. But there's one thing that really bothered me, and I'm not sure I like Camille's motivation at all. She sets up hidden cameras in the marital home to spy on the husband, not because she thinks he's cheating, not because she suspects abuse, but because she isn't happy anymore, and she wants a way out while still getting paid. That's her goal. The prenup says that she walks away with nothing unless Ben is caught doing something illegal. So she goes digging, hoping to find something, anything to avoid it. And honestly, that's predatory. That's not somebody who's batting for you. That's somebody that's hoping you screw up so they can take the win. The twist is what makes it even colder. The illegal activity she eventually uncovers is Ben lying to the police to save her own brother, Silas, from going to the prison. He literally risks his freedom to protect her family while she's secretly snooping through his things, trying to catch him out. If that's not morally grey, I don't know what is. The twist... And in that sense, credit to the author. Camille isn't a villain, but she's not the noble, wronged wife we're trained to expect. She's messy, opportunistic, almost transactional. It's uncomfortable, but deliberately so. Pacing-wise, I think the book has issues, definitely. But the POV switching, honestly, I thought that was handled well. I saw lots of reviews saying it was confusing or that there were too many characters. But for once, I actually didn't feel that, and it stayed coherent to me. What did you think, Joseph? Did you find Camille interestingly flawed or just straight up unlikable? And were the POVs too much for you, or was it smooth?
I thought she was going to be... I thought she was going to be pleasantly grey at first. I was going to be like, oh, they're going to, drop a little, murky the waters a little bit.
Yeah, maybe she was getting beaten at home or something.
But then she was getting smacked around a little bit.
She was just bad.
Yeah. She was just a bad Dirty,
Like
dirty girl.
if you're not happy with your marriage and you want to leave, I'm not going to say that's okay, but by all means, you have the power to do that. But look at her; she's trying to get paid.
Yeah, she's trying to get
come on. Paid.
Duplicitous.
She's searching through something.
Yeah,
man
no,
weren't
it's
cheating.
disgraceful.
He weren't beating you, but I'm gonna spy him and find something. I know he's up to
Yeah.
something. I'm gonna find it.
Women.
Wow.
They're all like that.
Wow. That was
Yeah, no, that is duplicitous.
fun. Bet she's fun at parties. Jesus.
Criminal.
Just to get paid, you know.
Yeah, no.
She's gonna call. I don't know. If
She's
gonna call
literally
the
living
police.
a like wealthy life now. It's crazy. Ben was cheating with Aubrey, or so we were led to believe. After finding a napkin in Ben's briefcase with Aubrey's name, address, and phone number on it, Camille believes that her friend has been having her on. After confronting her, she learns the truth, that Ben was investigating Aubrey and a man connected to her parents' hit and run case years ago. Camille must be the first woman in history to be disappointed that her husband wasn't cheating. But I found the dual timelines very, very confusing, by the way.
Well, I was going to say, it
Yeah.
seems like you do. So that's how Aubrey and Camille met.
Yes.
It's not that they were friends. So Camille just found the napkin, confronted Aubrey.
Yeah.
And then Aubrey basically, which is even worse, recruited
No,
Camille.
legit. No,
But now
100%.
this is like, she was morally great before. Now she's just
Mob boss, living like a
traitorous.
mob boss,
She might
yeah.
as well be cheating.
Yeah.
You get recruited by somebody who's out to get your husband. It's just
Yeah, no, it's criminal.
crazy.
It is criminal.
You don't go back to your husband and say, they tried to recruit me. What should we do? You take their side
100%.
and give her an alibi.
Disgraceful. Women.
Crazy.
Yeah, the format I used to read this book was disgraceful. It was almost as bad. It was in the league of
Intermezzo.
Intermezzo. It was in the league of that. So there's loads of things that were like there's like chunks of text missing and stuff. It was crazy. So yeah,
Well, as
I
long
was
as
very
it's free, right?
The dual, mate, honestly, paying for that. But yeah, the dual timelines was very, very baffling.
I'm actually on to the ending now. You want to read another one?
So I've got one more, and you got one more. So do you want me to just go?
No, I'll go then.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ending. Where do I begin? In short, I'm confused. I honestly don't understand why Silas has such a problem with Ben. He keeps calling Ben a piece of shit. But, excuse me, Ben literally covered for him in the first place. Ben is the reason why Silas isn't in prison right now. Then the book reveals that all of this drama goes back to a hit-and-run incident that killed Aubrey Price's parents. And the man who's been in prison for 10 years, Paul, didn't do it. He was framed by Camille and Silas's father. For a while, we think it was Silas behind the wheel, but that isn't true either. It was Margaret. Margaret was the one driving. She panicked, jumped out of the driver's seat, pulled Silas into it and let him believe that he was the one who killed Aubrey's parents. She never corrected it because Silas' dad, a powerful lawyer, would make everything disappear if he thought his own son was responsible. But he would never have protected Margaret, so she kept it quiet. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And
I
then
wouldn't say nothing wrong with it.
I don't
It's
think
definitely,
there's
definitely
anything wrong
it's
with
definitely
it.
understandable, but I wouldn't say there's nothing wrong with it.
And then Camille shouts at Margaret, "You let my brother believe he was a murderer." But I have a major problem with that, because when Silas did believe he was a murderer, what did he do? He didn't confess, he didn't take responsibility, he didn't serve time, he let Paul take the fall and rot in a cell for a decade. So how can Camille or Silas claim the moral high ground now? How can they seriously be angry at Margaret for lying when they were lying too? And far worse. And now that they now finally know the truth, Silas is better off now. So how can he rage at her for telling it? He thought he was a murderer, and now he's not. So he should be thanking Margaret.
I wouldn't say all of that as well. That's gaslighting talk. That's gaslighting talk.
Wait,
for
what?
Sure. That's
Am I,
gaslighting
so
talk
what?
for
Am I
sure.
am I not
I
telling
used
the
to
truth?
beat you every day, and now I don't. So you should be grateful. That's gaslighting talk, mate.
So am I not telling the truth?
That's gaslight talk. That's what I'm saying. It's gaslight talk. That's not the case. You shouldn't be happy because you know you shouldn't have had to live with like thinking you're a murderer whatsoever.
Well, would you prefer Margaret to go to prison?
But that's not. Those aren't the only options.
That was the only option.
She could have told him it was her.
Yeah, but she could have eventually. But now she has.
She could have told him at the beginning.
It doesn't matter if it's the beginning, at the end.
Of course it does, because he lived time thinking he was a murderer. That can't feel great.
Well, it wasn't real.
He still had to. That makes it worse. He still had to go through it. It wasn't necessary. It was.
And then with a
unwarranted.
wild twist,
Yeah.
Silas rigs Margaret's car so that she crashes
that was
and dies.
wild.
I don't know exactly.
That was
I don't know
insane.
what he did, whether he cut the brakes or tampered with something else. But the point is, he kills her. And this is the same man who did everything he can to escape justice when he thought he was guilty. He's not the person who should be dishing out justice.
you know what I mean?
And killing Margaret is so over the top. When Silas believed he done what Margaret did, his family forgave him instantly money and helped him avoid the consequences. But when Margaret does it, he kills her.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Makes no sense.
Crazy. I was literally sticking up for Silas. And I was like, this dumb nigga, bro. What's going on?
Is the author leaning into the morally grey character thing again, or is she just an idiot to think that this makes sense? Did the author think, I need to end this story with a bang? This is it.
Yeah, I think that's what she went for, and that's just like sometimes you don't, mate. Sometimes you don't. It's all right to like end on like a down note.
Yeah.
It's fine as long as you've written like a good story. You've given me one twist, maybe you gave me a twist on
the
the twist.
I didn't know.
Always less is more when it comes to the twist, because if you do too many, ruins the spell is broken.
Yeah, so Ben was the one that gave an alibi to Silas.
Yeah.
So yes, I didn't know. We didn't wait. What happened? We didn't know that Silas was the one that killed.
We didn't.
Behind the wheel.
I found that very suspicious as well, because I was like, she dragged him out.
No, so she didn't know. I think she just dragged him out the car. She didn't put him in or anything like that. But I don't know. She dragged him out the car, and he just was like, "Oh, I can't believe I did that."
Joke, man.
And he didn't. She didn't correct him, innit?
Fair enough.
But I think I could forgive my girlfriend if she allowed me to believe I killed somebody, because the dad, my father, needed to believe.
No,
it was me
hindsight,
that he protected. I can forgive her for that.
In hindsight, when you look at it, I think Margaret is probably forgivable if you look at it in hindsight.
But he killed her.
Compared to what everybody else did, and like compared to the morals going around in the family, and like how they were piling on her when they're all worse. I think it's really weird, but at the same time, I still think she should have just told him, yes, we need your dad.
Wait. So wait, do you think Silas is worse than Margaret then?
Yes. No, I do.
Wait. No. Forget her murdering Margaret. I mean the fact that he thought he murdered somebody and he allowed somebody to rot in jail. He didn't do it.
No, I hear what you're saying, but he thought he did. And that's what's in his heart.
And he got his dad to manipulate the court system.
No, I hear what you're saying. That's not good, but I think doing it to a stranger is different from doing it to family. Like your literal partner. Obviously, Margaret didn't send him to prison or anything, but she did let him believe that he was a murderer. Like doing that to someone that you know and love and share a bed with is crazy compared to like a stranger.
Silas was not this broken individual. He definitely wasn't written like a broken individual.
No, I'm not saying that. He
seemed like, oh well, I got away with it.
No, I'm not saying that, but it's just like, listen, look, I'm just thinking, what would it be like if it was me that had to think I was a murderer the whole time? It was like you was just like. I think obviously that's added artistic license, for artistic licensing reasons, but trying to bias the jury. But no, you hear what I'm saying though.
No, I know what you're saying.
But retrospectively, you look back on it and you're just like, this is definitely not a victim in all of this.
Yeah.
Margaret.
So wait,
slap on the wrist compared to
wait. So you're saying that Silas has every right to be annoyed at Margaret for what she did, even though what he did is just as bad.
He has every right to be annoyed. He just doesn't have the right to kill her.
Yeah. So he can
be
say
annoyed, but don't be a murderer.
So he can say, "How could you let me believe I was a murderer?"
Yeah.
But she could say, "But even you got away with it."
So what's that got to do with like letting me believe I'm a murderer? I didn't say sending me to prison for it. I said letting me believe. No one mentioned prison. So why are you mentioning? Like, see what I'm saying? This gaslight talk.
No, but you can't question me on my moral efficacies when.
Why not?
When you're escaping justice.
Only one of us is doing this to family though. Only one of us is like. Do you know what I mean? And isn't the whole theme of the book with Randall and everything like family above everything, and he's like this Tywin Lannister kind of character? Isn't like that the whole point? Dom Toretto, do you know what I mean? Family. Is that like the whole point?
No, but they weren't family then. That was just his girlfriend.
Yeah. It's the plan, anyways. It's the plan.
They were just girlfriend boyfriend. It's not family.
Yeah, but come on, that's still something. That still counts. It doesn't count as like blood relative or anything like that, but it counts as like family. Yeah, I think what
Margaret did was above board.
I think she could have gone one better, but it's understandable why she did what she did. But she could have gone one better and just fessed up to Silas.
I think it's a good thing she didn't tell him. Otherwise, he might have killed her back
then.
Killed
her sooner. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, Richard, but that's hindsight's 2020, obviously. But
so what you're saying is you would have advised her to come clean to her,
100%,
and then would you have felt bad when you found that that her car crash kills Margaret?
She's the one that married a psycho. So boy. You get what
well,
you pay
she
for.
was the one that she killed Ben as well. Dude. I don't know.
No, so, oh my god.
Is that you done?
No, I got one more. I am not a fan of the way this story went. For once, I actually don't have much of an issue with the execution, apart from the whole dual timeline thing. Honestly, like I said, why are we hearing about what happened 10 years ago? Why isn't the book just set 10 years ago, since that's when the interesting things happened?
Yeah.
And then you, the author, get to milk a sequel. I may not be an expert in New York Times bestsellers, but I am an expert in milking. A veteran, you might say. For me,
Okay.
the stakes of the book are just too low. It's all about a hit and run. Essentially, Camille's brother Silas and his girl Margaret were driving one night and crashed and killed Aubrey's parents. Silas thinks he was driving, but that's because Margaret let him think that and take the fall. Camille's dad pays a law student, Ben, to help them cover everything up, and a marriage to Camille is his reward. Here's what I don't get. What, some reward, eh? Here's what I don't get. I think 9 times out of 10, if you have a car accident, you only really get serious prison times if you actually run off, which they should know. Secondly, they are poor. Aubrey's parents are poor. Nobody cares about poor people. They could have just paid off the next of kin or whatever they do in America, I don't know. They literally had 2 police officers on the payroll. One of whom gets shot at the end when he tries to murder Aubrey. And then Silas murders Margaret.
Crazy.
I was like, what is this bloody book? Everyone's just murdering everybody.
One thing, if you are ever in that situation, you should absolutely run away. Absolutely, because if you're caught behind the wheel drunk,
Yeah.
you're going down even more. You're better off running away, sobering up, then turning yourself in, and then just saying, I fell asleep at the wheel. I don't know what happened. And you, for an accident like that, 1-2 years max. You might not even go to prison.
What if the guy dies though?
No, you might not go to prison. Accident, you fell asleep at the wheel, they might not even give you prison time for that. You're not doing 10 years. No way.
If you run away though, you might get prison time.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you run away, you were scared, you know what happened, you was hurt, you went to the hospital, blah. There's some excuse you can come up with for running away, but you hand yourself in the next day. Cool.
Maybe.
Because even
Sound like you tried this.
hit and run is only a hit and run if you don't notify the police within 24 hours. If you notify the police within 24 hours, then it doesn't count as a hit and run. So
How long does alcohol stay in the body? Because like if you sober up, they might, I don't know.
even
they
if
can
you,
still, like,
even if you go home, have a drink, and you call the police and say they can't do you for drink driving because you've had a drink after you've been up behind the wheel. There's no way of them knowing how much you had or whatever. So there's just don't get caught behind the wheel drinking, but absolutely hand yourself in. But yes, the book was rubbish. I thought it was confusing.
It was very confusing. I thought the end did not. I wasn't satisfied with the ending as well. The payoff was tiny in my opinion.
Slapdash. It was slapdash.
At best.
The author was like, "Yep, we need to end this with some twist. Let's
wrap this
kill
up.
Margaret off."
100. Oh, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it was I don't know why they felt the need for like Silas to murder. That was such a disproportionate reaction to what she did to
And
him.
I'm trying to wonder if
they were the good guys.
If somebody's,
Silas meant to be the good guy.
somebody's parents were killed by a drink driver, do you think, could you find yourself going out of your way to try and bring the right culprits to justice? I mean, given the fact that somebody's been charged, it's his truck. It's the guy's truck. The guy gets charged.
What was she even searching for?
Like, do you think you would be going, doing a madness?
Nah, of course, definitely not.
Changing nickels.
Justice has been done legit. Justice has been done as far as she's concerned.
Yeah, it's a stretch. It's a stretch. But yeah, I would 1 star.
I think that's probably fair, to be honest. Just to be different, I'm going to go with...
Don't give it extra stars just to... I mean, I'm talking like ones... I
What if I
could go
went
0.
zero?
I could go 0 for this. I could go 0. I wish I didn't read it.
Hold on, let me just...
What's a good thing that you liked about the book?
That's what I'm looking at my notes. What did I say that was good?
There's no cheating. 0 stars.
I'm going to be real, 0. 0. No, 0. Because there's no...
If you're going to do a murder
nothing
mystery, if
that
you're
I
going to do a
really
murder
liked.
mystery that's been done to death, give us something different. Like, give us a reason to read on. Not just to find out who
100%.
killed Ben. No one gives a fuck about Ben.
100%. I still don't.
So yeah, 0. I can get behind that. I was being
recommend-
one to just be generous.
Yeah,
I don't like
recommend
giving
this
zeros.
book. I definitely wouldn't recommend this book.
Absolutely not. I want to get my money back.
Wasted, honestly, waste of time. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't want to read any more
Shambolic.
by this woman.
I want to kill her.
I think it's time to end.
All
Till
right.
next time.
Till next time.